Good evening, everybody. So, we are going to talk about gamification versus game-based learning. Our team is composed by Omar Barrera, Loinet Mancilla, and me, Diego Cuides. So, we hope you enjoy our presentation.
Good evening. Gamification. Gamification refers to the introduction of gaming mechanics into the educational field with the aim of making it more engaging. We can take into account intrinsic motivation or intensive involvement, enrich the learning experience, increase the learning efficiency, and the other side, game-based learning. Game-based learning is focused in the learning program into a game form, focusing on making the learning process fun. We can take into account um, essential questions, types of games, academic theory, personal input, site source.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to talk about the differences between gamification and game-based learning. So, according to gamification, the creator must use or add game elements to create um, and sequence, and the user or gamer can get rewards because of his experience, performance, or by unlocking new features. In game-based learning, doesn't take into account gamification, but in this case, it implements games to teach. Okay, well now, gamification add games as a lesson, while game-based learning use games to achieve learning objectives. In gamification, the motivation is extrinsic because the user, sorry, or the gamer holds a reward. But in game-based learning, the motivation is intrinsic and of course could be extrinsic too. It depends on the gamer interest. And final, in gamification, the assessment is not taken into account within the game. And in game-based learning, of course, the assessment is in the game.
Okay, good evening everybody. Thanks for paying attention to our video. At this moment, we are gonna answer the question. It would be possible to implement these trends in our context and how they might be adapted. If we look on the internet, we could find some advices about how we could implement gamification or game-based learning. For example, for implementing gamification, we could give points to our students for they to meet academic objectives and provide the option to give budgets rather than points or use different platforms or applications in order to get our students engaged with our process. In game-based learning, we could determine the purpose of the game we're gonna use in order to teach the topics we wanna work with our students. For example, I use a 100% hidden objects game in order to teach vocabulary to my students. So maybe if we have a specific purpose, we could implement in our classrooms, but we have to take into account if our students have the equipment or the resources in order to apply these kind of activities.
Okay, well, advantages and disadvantages about gamification. Well, increasing learning motivation levels, of course, improving knowledge retention, better learning engagement through social mechanisms like budgets, points, or leaderboards. And according to these advantages, distract learners from learning, of course, and replace other learning activities such as hands-on experiments and simulations.
It is very useful. We know what is the challenge, or what is the idea we, or what is the objective we want to reach with our students, in order to take advantage of these kind of approaches to learning. In game-based learning, it is important to highlight that it helps problem solving, encourages critical thinking in our students, increases our students' engagement and motivation, but is not unknown that it's too expensive to develop a game just to teach a lesson, or to reach us, or to reach some specific topics, especially in public schools that are the places we work now. It is too difficult that the policies and the people decide to take the money to invest in these kind of games in order to promote the learning through these kind of approaches, and leads to overstimulations and gameplay addiction. And after the COVID 19 situation, it is a real problem that we are facing in our classrooms, that our students are too dependent to certain kind of games or things, and they are avoiding learning the things they need in order to reach the academic purposes. So, game-based learning, I don't think is too suitable for our public schools at this moment, but we maybe could implement in some other space. So, thank you for watching this video from Omar, Diego, and me, and we hope to see you next time. Okay, bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Thank you so much. Bye.